I lived on Hayman Island for nearly a decade. So I was
A
entertainment manager
decade.
first, but for
Wow.
10 years, yeah.
Okay.
So
You never got
I
me up there.
no, I didn't get any. Danny's the only person I came up brought up
Yeah, thanks.
to Hayman. Well,
I've no
you know,
invitation in my letter box. Hmm?
we all lost touch a bit, didn't we?
Oh, hey, it's Hunky Spunk from the 80s. It's Beven Addinsall.
Hello, how are you, Loz? Nice to
Hi,
see you.
sweetheart. I'm really well. How are you?
I am better now that I'm talking to you.
We have connection problems. We've been trying to get together for so long, and the universe is saying, deal.
Wouldn't be the first time either, would it?
No, I know, but this time we're successful. So I need you to
Indeed.
answer my first question straight away.
All
Ready?
right. Okay. Should I be nervous?
Who knows what tomorrow
Oh my God.
brings? In a world few hearts survive.
All I know is the way I feel when I dream. I keep it alive. You know what's funny? When we did that on the show, I sang in the same register as you. So
I
all
know.
I know is the way I
And
feel
I was wondering what you were going
when
to
it's
do.
real. I
You
keep
can.
it alive.
See,
I
you still
wasn't thinking I
can.
could sing up there. Yeah, that's funny, isn't
You
it?
still can. Well, you answered the
Slightly lower
question
now.
perfectly,
Yeah,
an
yeah, that's
octave
right.
down. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I was just watching your first and last show. And I have questions that I don't know the answers to. One is your first song was How Great Thou Art.
yeah.
Why? Why was it
Why?
your first song? Yeah.
Well, the producers chose that for me.
Okay.
I think it was because um, in my audition I sang "Amazing Grace." Now I had nothing prepared for my audition because I didn't know I was doing it until the last minute because we were down in Melbourne from country town called Dimboola,
Yeah.
and uh, I was we were staying at some friend's house while I was in the Victorian Championships cross country run, and
Wow.
they had a piano in the front room, and I was playing the piano and singing really badly, as far as the piano
I
goes, anyway.
doubt that.
And they
I
and
doubt
they'd
that.
said to my this is a 12-year-old, and they'd said to my parents that they'd seen in the paper that John Young was looking for a new boy for the young talent team, um, and I should
Wow.
audition. So I ran my race, and we're heading back out of Melbourne and
Wait, did
back
you
to
win the
Dimboola.
race? Did you win the race?
No, I think I came sixth in the Victorian Championships. I'd won all the
Okay.
preceding races to get into the Victorian Championship, but no, I didn't
Okay.
win that one.
Okay.
Um, and then Dad pulled over to a phone box in Sydenham on the way out of Melbourne and called the number and said, "Look, I think my son's got a pretty good voice. Can he get an audition?" They said, "Well, we've just auditioned 5,000 boys from across Australia, but if you bring him in tomorrow,"
5,000?
apparently, yeah, that's what they said. And so they said, um, if you bring him in, we'll see him. So we went back to our friend's house, and then the next day I went in. But of course, I had nothing prepared. I'd never done an audition in my life. I just could sing. So they said, "What songs do you know?" And I knew "Amazing Grace," and I think "I Still Call Australia Home" was another one that I sang. So I
Yeah.
started to play the piano, and very quickly they said, "We'll get our musical director Greg Mills to come down and play for you." That's how well I played. Um, and so he came down, played the piano for me, and I just sang these songs. And then they asked to come back in the next day, so I did again, and that was with John Young as well. And then we went back to Dimboola, and 2 days later they called up and said he's got the gig. And Mum said, "When does he start?"
Wow.
And they said he starts now. Get down here. So Mum and Dad sold the house in Dimboola for about $12.50, I think, and came down to Melbourne and
Where
started
did
in
you
the show.
live?
So
Where did you
we just
live?
rented. We just came down and rented a house
Okay.
just to get you know somewhere to live.
So what's
Went
that
to a new
time
school.
frame of you coming to Melbourne? What's the time frame of you coming and then you're in the studio starting? Like within weeks?
Yeah, within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, I
so
have another question for you. Were you a fan of Young Talent Time before
loved it.
you got on?
Didn't miss a show. Didn't miss a show.
Who
It
was
was
your
at six
favorite?
thirty. Uh, at that point, I think my favorites were probably Karen Dunkerton and Tina at that
Ah,
stage. And so
yes.
Danny hadn't been in it very long. I also liked Vince. Vince hadn't been in it that long either. Um,
Mm,
so when I so when I started, Vince, Danny, and I were the little ones.
wow,
Um, which is, funny
that
to
blows
think
my
about
mind.
because obviously,
Yeah,
yeah, the three of us were the little ones. Because I think I started in '83. Were you '85, Lorena?
84. 84.
'84. Okay, right. Okay, so was Vanessa was before you though, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah,
I think Vanessa was the next team member after me, and
right.
Bobby Dreesen had just left.
Okay.
Um, I replaced him. So yeah, were you
Mm,
in it? Were you in it with Tina?
no, I
Okay.
always think I replaced her because she left and then but I don't know who I replaced really, but I know she was gone, then I was on, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's probably the case. Yeah, big shoes to fill, right? And you did it so
Okay,
you
so
did
they
you did it
choose.
so very
Yeah.
well.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So they chose your first song.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's
You're
because I
very
sing
well.
Amazing
You're
Grace and it was a hymn. Because I'm not overly religious now at all, but it's a song that stays with me because I do it in my show. Um,
yes.
uh, I do a duet with my mini me with my very first show footage, and it's always proved to be really popular. People remember me from just that song
You
in
are
my shows on
known
the
for that
cruise ships.
song.
And
I
yeah,
just did an
yeah.
interview with a fan who Wendy, who said that her grandmother, I think it was her grandmother, they absolutely loved you, and especially that song that you started with. And I think at her grandmother's funeral, she wanted that played, your version of you
Oh,
singing
really?
it, which
Well,
is
I actually
totally
re-recorded
incredible.
a version as an adult in three-part harmonies for my dad's funeral. He wanted it.
Oh,
So he said, but I want to be able to
wow.
hear it. So can you record it for me and just give it to? So I recorded it and gave it to them. So he'd heard it, 100 times before he passed. So
Oh,
he knew what was,
yeah.
he knew what was going to be
Oh.
played. Yeah.
Now tell me, how did you feel being on the show? How did it change your life?
Well, as you know, Loz, it's a whirlwind, isn't it? So I came from a country boy that just loved playing sport and could sing,
Mm.
to 45 hours a week outside of school.
It's a bit
Because what
long.
they did, well, it was that when I arrived. I think by the time you arrived, they'd reduced it quite a bit. I think they realised
Oh,
that it was getting too much. Like when in my,
oh, I
I
didn't know
was in
that.
the team for 3 months before I got a day off. Um, because we
Wow.
do vocals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, dance rehearsals Thursday, Friday, um, record the show on Saturday, and any
Mm.
location shooting that needed to be done on a Sunday.
Oh,
And I
wow.
had location shooting pretty much every Sunday for the first 3 months. So yeah,
Wow.
I was in
7 days.
7 days,
Oh,
and so that
wow.
I
Okay.
think it started to take the toll on some of the kids, and they reduced it a little bit. I think by the time you
Right.
came in, we still worked very hard, as you know.
Yeah.
But because people don't realize, I mean, if we work to how hard we do on Young Talent Time now as just a full-time job, you go, oh yeah, we work pretty hard. But when you're doing it outside of 35 hours a week of school, that's
Yeah.
that's next level. Of course, you're not allowed to
Absolutely.
do it now.
No.
I remember they in 2012 they brought out a new version of Young Talent Time
Mm.
where Rob Mills hosted. I can't remember. Were you there for the
Yeah. Yeah.
recording of that?
Yes.
Well, one of the things I noticed that I couldn't believe is when in the middle of the day, the floor manager yelling out, "Guys, come on, let's go! We've got to get this shot done. We lose the kids in 5 minutes."
Yes.
And I'm like, "What does that mean?" And then I realized it's like, of course, they've got,
Hey.
they have to.
Stop.
adhere to rules and they can only work so many times. Well, we didn't have that. It was like, we'll keep going
No.
until it's done. I
Again.
remember us
Again.
finishing vocals at 1 a.m. I
Yeah. And then go
remember
to
it,
school. And then going to
and then go
school.
to school.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. I didn't care. I didn't care. I remember maybe being tired, but I just didn't care. I just loved it so much.
I
But
was the
how did
same.
it affect you personally? Like with your friendships, did it affect who your friends were at school?
Well, it did because it was a totally new school. Because I came from the country, I went from my friends in the country to
Mm,
brand new friends, if you like. And what happened is when we first came down, we lived in Baldwin, and I went to Bourne High, which was a really big school. And when you've
mm,
just started television, it was tough because you get picked on. So
mm.
we moved from there. We moved to Surrey Hills, and I went to a little school called Wattle Park, which only had 300 kids.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and that was fantastic for me. And something that, because I know a lot of the boys copped a lot of, bullying at school. I was really lucky, and I always attributed it to the fact that I was strong at sports. So I was in sporting teams with the jocks, if you like, of the school,
Right.
and I'm helping them.
Mm,
I'm helping them win things. So I became a mate. So what happened
right.
then is if any new kids came to the school that went, oh, that's Bevan from Young Tom, and wanted to give me some crap, if you like, they'd
Yeah.
look after it. So I was really lucky in that, but I think that it's sad that it has to be something like that, that you have to be good at sport for the potential bullies to like you. But it's that's what it was for me. So I had some crappy times, but overall it was.
Mm.
I think I had it easier than a lot of the other guys.
Yeah. How did you go with answering fan mail? Because you were super popular. You were a super spunky, hunky kind of
Y-
dude. And everyone I speak to always says Bevan and Vince were, not everyone, well, the majority. Bevan and Vince,
Yeah,
Bevan and
yeah.
Vince, Bevan and Vince all the time. So you must have had a pile of fan mail to get through.
Yeah, had a lot. My mum and dad did most of mine for me. So
Did
most of yeah, yeah. So mum literally hand wrote, like answered them all for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, we just didn't have enough time to get it done.
No, no.
Just not
Well,
at all.
you would
So
have
I
had
was
more than me. You would have
yeah.
had more than me.
Well, then there came the time of computers where I had a computer and a printer, and I was able to do I started doing like a more of a generic
Yes.
let
Okay.
like thing
A
and say
template.
what I've been
Yeah.
up yeah, what I've been up to, and
Yeah.
thank you so much for your letter, and thank you, it's been it's so nice of you to write to me, sort of thing. And then I'd send that out,
Yeah.
and mum and dad would send that out. I'd do it on the computer. And I would
Mm,
sign them all. But before that, mum literally handwrote all my mail for me.
that's
Yeah.
incredible. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's look at your last show. Did you choose your songs?
Yes.
Okay.
So the songs
Because
I
what were
had
they?
that while I was playing to win was one of them because it was
Yeah.
fun and I loved. Then I did a duet of You'll Never Walk Alone and I Want to Know What Love Is because I adored both those songs. So that
Yeah.
was, yeah, that was, and the guys that Ross Burton and Greg Mills did such a wonderful job on that medley to meld
Mm,
those two
mm,
songs together.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so it
Tell
was,
me how you felt. Tell me how you felt that night.
I was really excited. I had got a role in a musical called Seven Little Australians, so I knew that I was going off to
Oh,
do that. But I'll never
right.
forget singing the last note, and it hit me only then that that's it.
Mm.
It's over. Um, and that's when I sort of got teary, and obviously everyone was applauding, and Courtney was bawling, and as she
Poor
did with
Courtney,
most
I
of the
just
people that
watched
left.
it before.
Yeah,
I feel so
and she,
bad.
yeah, yeah. But she was little, like, and Ricky as well, and so it really
Yeah.
affected them when because it was like
Yeah.
your big brother or sister leaving the show. Because Danny
Yeah.
had left only 3 weeks before me, and she came to my last show. But of course, then what happened, as you would know, is New Generation, and when I finished, I didn't know we were going to be doing that. So that was
Yeah.
it. I didn't know that it wasn't the end. Do you know
Yes,
what I
I
mean? That there
didn't
was going to
either.
be something else. So it was, yeah, right. I wasn't sure whether, because you were closer to new generation as far as when you left Young
Yes,
Talent.
and I don't remember the time frame, but tell me how you felt when you got that invitation.
Oh, it really excited me. It was great because I had finished, by that time, I'd finished in Seven All Australians.
Mm.
And I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was considering becoming a professional golfer, which I ended up doing and working
Yes,
out
tell
that I'm
me about that.
a better singer than I am a golfer. Um, so I was
But you were
just,
quite good. You were quite good.
yeah, I was just never consistent enough to be, to make a living out of it. I could have been a teaching pro, which I quite enjoyed coaching, but I wasn't a good enough, nowhere near a good enough, nowhere near a consistent enough. When I was on, I was really good, but
Mm.
I'd get up the next day and go, what have I changed? Because yesterday I shot lights out, and today I play like I've never played the game before. So I was just not consistent
Right.
enough as far as
Mm.
golf goes, and I missed my singing. Golf's a lot of early mornings, um, and I just yeah, I missed my singing to be honest. So I went back and did that.
Mm. So after the new gen finished, what did you do?
Well, I was doing New Generation at the same time, actually. I've just realised, as Seven Little Australians.
Mm.
I actually got quite unwell because I was working over 100 hours a week because I was doing 8 shows a week at the Comedy Theatre, but I was filming all day with New Generation, and we had to basically they had to look at what my schedule for the theatre show was to work my filming around it. So I basically never stopped for about
Gosh.
but yeah, for about 3 or 4 months at all. So it was, it was, as I say, over 100 hours a week. So I was wrecked. So from then, that's
Mm.
when I took a break. I said, I just need a bit of a break. And I started playing golf and got good at golf. And then I got
I
obsessed
see.
by golf, which I wish I didn't do because I wanted, made a lot more sense to keep myself in the limelight as much as possible. So it was a poor choice at the time. But I had the one thing that I had lacking for me is I didn't have a good manager or somebody looking after me, saying, this is what you need to do. This is your next step,
Yeah.
your progression. Otherwise, I think things could have been a lot different. So I'll always
Yes.
be a little bit a sliding doors, though, isn't it? You don't know
You
what would have
don't know.
happened. See
I
what I mean?
didn't
And
have good
I may
management
be well and
either.
truly better off now. No.
That's true. So, okay. So after the golf and everything, what did you do there? Like, did you did you record albums? Did you do lots of live shows?
Yeah, look, I was still doing live shows. I recorded an album. It's terrible, the one back then. My last two I'm very happy with, but
I'm sure it
the
wasn't
one way back
terrible.
was, oh God, it was awful. Um, but I'm glad it's not available for anyone to hear now. Um, but started, I realized that I needed to put together something so I could get work as a singer. And at that point, I thought, well, being in a band, it's like we have to share all the money with everyone, and I was young. I mean, I had wonderful corporate bands later, which I just loved being a part of. Some of the best
Yeah.
musos who you know a lot of them in Australia. But so I taught myself how to play the piano properly.
Mm.
Um, so some friends of mine, Jeff and David Willis, and I just spent, ironically, a few months on a ship as cruise director with Jeff Willis being my cocktail piano player. So it was
Wow.
wonderful
Full
to
circle.
small world. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he was at my first show at Young Talent Time when I was 12. So that's how
Oh
long we've known.
gosh.
So we've known
Yeah.
each other 20 years.
Mm.
Um, we'll go with that. Um, and he basically taught me chord charts and how to read chord charts. And I just practiced every day for hours and hours until my fingers were really sore.
Mm.
Until I could play the piano for myself. And then I started doing piano bar gigs and things like that.
Mm.
But yeah, but it was through that period too. I think I was lacking good a manager because I still had a name. So for me, I think I missed out on a few things there. I also was offered a gig in Neighbours and turned it down to do the stage to do the musical theatre because I'd just done 5 years of TV on Young Time Time. And then I look
Right.
back now and go, where was the manager that said, do not take the theatre production?
Yes.
You get your butt into
Guidance.
Neighbours. Yeah.
Guidance. Yes. Okay. Now, at some point, weren't you organising entertainment on one of the islands up north?
I lived on Hayman Island for nearly a decade, so I was
A
entertainment manager
decade.
first, but for
Wow.
10 years, yeah.
Okay.
So
You never got
I
me up there.
no, I didn't get any. Danny's the only person I came up brought up
Yeah, thanks.
to Hayman. Well,
I've no
you know,
invitation in my letterbox. Hmm?
we all lost touch a bit, didn't we? And
We
the only
did.
person
Yeah.
really in young talent time that I stayed in constant contact with over what's been since I was 12 was Danny. Her and I have
Yeah.
always been really quite close
Mm,
and stayed in contact. But I wish, that's why now I love it when we get to do reunions, and you and
yeah.
I are getting a chance to catch up shortly too, which is going to be wonderful. Um, and we've also, you and I have talked about collaborating and doing some performing together as well with possibly with Joey or someone like that. I think that'd be a good idea
It's
to
so good.
relook at to relook at. I think
Yeah.
that could be a lot of fun.
Yes.
But at the moment, I've
Get
gone back to
out.
cruise directing, so I'm on a ship for sort of 8 months a year. I do 4 months
That's
on and two
ridiculous.
months off.
Now, I do follow
Yeah,
you on
so
Facebook and I see you traveling and all your adventures and horrible things that happen to you that just stress me out just reading things that you go through, like,
that
missing
yeah,
flights or storms or
yeah.
whatever. And tell me,
It's really funny because you I don't think I know anyone that gets more stressed
you don't
about it than you
travel
do.
well.
You
That
do
what?
not travel well.
No.
But I you get used to it. All right.
Yeah.
So what happens is you go, okay, I've made my flight. I'm here. There's a delay. It means I'm going to miss my next flight. None of that's my fault. So I just need to let the appropriate people know so they can try to rebook me and see if they can get me to a ship. And if they can't, they will rebook me and move me to the next port that the ship's going to be in, accommodate me, and I'll get on the ship then. You're just stressing about it doesn't help. And that's when I was a guest entertainer, by the way. That's different to being a cruise director. So I was a headliner, so I would do my show on the ship, but I may only be on a
Mm.
ship for 4 or 5 days, or I might be on for a week. Then I fly straight to another ship, or fly home for a day and fly again. So I was doing 40 contracts a year. So I was all over the
Wow.
place. Weirdly, as a full-time cruise director now, I'm home more than I was as a headliner because I get two
Mm.
months off. And
Yeah.
when you work for 4 months where you're doing 12 to 15-hour days without a day off. So the last one I just did 135 days in a row. You want to relax and enjoy yourself when you're off. You know what I mean?
This seems to
Um,
be a running theme in your life where you are
and
overworked and you take on too much, whether
underpaid.
it's your choice or not. You're always like, go, 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 go.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
only
even through
working
COVID,
100
it was,
hours a week, with no
yeah,
break.
but it was, you get used to it though. I've never been, I mean, young talent time, that's one thing about it for me is it taught me how to work hard. So for me, I'm used to working hard.
Yep.
So that's not a problem for me at all.
Yes.
But, you know, it's an interesting thing doing the cruises. I mean, I love my job and I have always have a great team. I'm the head, basically cruise director is the head of the entertainment department on a ship.
The
So you look after
Love
all
Boat. Yes.
kind of,
What
yeah.
was the character's
Um,
name on the Love Boat? He was the entertainment guy. I can't remember his name, but it just makes me
oh,
think
well,
of
actually,
that every time I think of you.
the cruise director was Julie. So it was a female. Um,
Oh,
it was a
yes.
cruise director. And then it was Captain Stubing,
Yes.
and Gopher was the
Yes.
bar guy. Then there was
Yeah.
Doc, the doctor.
Oh, you
Um,
remember? I was such a bad memory.
well, I remember because as a headliner, one of the cruise lines that I was working on was Princess. I'm now a cruise director for Oceania and Regent, which are high end and just I adore it. I love it.
Mm.
But they one of the Princess that was the I think it's the Pacific Princess was it was a princess ship, the Love Boat. So they still do it. They even on some of
Um,
their big ships, when they blow the ship horn, it goes da 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 da, like
so
it does the
really?
ship horn does the Love Boat theme. Yeah,
Oh, I feel
but
nostalgic if I heard that.
yeah. So
I'm
and then
thinking
on the
of
TVs in the room, you've got all the Love Boat
no.
episodes. So I
Oh,
that's why I remember because I've seen them more recently than you have. Yeah.
right. Do you remember how bad of a traveler I was?
not so much in the show. I mean, I'm
I
more
know,
privy to it
on a
now.
plane, on planes, on planes,
Where
when we do our
we always
national
do.
tour.
You're not real. Oh, yeah, vaguely I do. But I remember it was weird, and this is how it happened. Is generally the boys would sit together and the girls would sit together on the planes.
Yes.
I don't, but
And then
because you remember when
you
we,
start the countdown. You would do the countdown when we were about to land. 10, 9,
I
8. And then
that
all the
must have.
plane, everyone on the plane would join in, counting down, trying to get the right when we landed on 0.
That's right. But can you imagine doing it now? People will be going, "Shut up!" I don't think it'd go down well now at all.
No, no. Well, anyway, I was the one that always threw up. I was always
I
throwing
remember
up.
that now.
Yeah,
No wonder you hate traveling still.
I do.
How do you go? Are you okay on planes now?
No, I just take something to help me. But no, I actually
Yeah.
got taken off a wheelchair, off a wheelchair. I got taken off a plane on a wheelchair once. I was that sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But anyway.
Okay. So maybe we shouldn't do a national tour.
And I'll just take stuff, I'll just to help me,
All
just
right.
help me out for the for
All
the
right.
ride. Oh my
We can do
goodness.
that. Yeah.
Um, is there anything that you want to let us know that you're doing apart from doing the ships? Are you doing any live shows anywhere? Have you got an album out?
Yeah, well, I have a new album out, and you can go to my website to have a look at that. But it's better now, though, and I'm going to actually take the physical album off my website. It's better to do the digital download because I'm not home to send the CDs out. I've got a couple to
No.
send out today actually, but
Mm,
because when I'm on a ship, I'm not home to send them out.
yeah, of course.
So no, so. Uh, I'm going to actually take the physical one, but people can download the digital copy of the album, which is
Mm,
available now on my website. But
fantastic.
outside of that, I'm
I'll put the links to that in the description.
yeah, thank you. But I will share obviously this podcast on my Instagram and or on my Facebook. But I took a little bit of a break. You probably noticed I used to post every day of what I'm doing, and then
Yes.
I took a break. Well, going back to that to let people know what I'm doing. So, for
Good.
me, if anyone is watching and doesn't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, please do. And
Yes.
yeah, and because we can do a heap of collaborations. What about you? What are you up to at the moment? So
Being a
obviously,
mum mostly. Being a mum mostly,
yeah,
I've just, that's the most important thing to me. I have little, gigs here and there. I'm not really pushing
yeah,
the singing thing too much because it's, my daughter's 15 now. Oh my goodness. And you've got
I
kids
know.
too
Tell me.
that are older.
Mm,
So
25 and
yeah, but
23.
oh, stop it. Oh,
Mm,
no.
mm,
Um,
mm.
what was I going to say?
Which is weird because I'm only
Uh,
29, so that's
you're
weird,
29. Geez, I'm
apparently.
54.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 55. That's crazy. And isn't it
Well, I've lost a lot
incredible
of
that
weight
we live in
lately,
this?
go on,
You look
sorry.
younger. It's
Yeah, that's
incredible
what
that
everyone's
we live
saying. Yeah.
in this time now where the fans can connect with us so easily with Facebook and
Yeah, it's great.
Instagram, with TikTok. Whereas if we didn't
Of course
have
it is.
this, we would have just disappeared. We would have just,
Yeah, well, that's true.
I
That's
don't know
true.
where
And
they would have,
like a
yeah,
lot of, like a lot of the older or the younger stars of yesteryear, like Corey Feldman and all those guys, Corey Haim and those guys, you'd see them in shows. And then, of course, when you stop seeing them in the shows, when you didn't have internet, you're like, oh, you just stop
that's
seeing them.
it. Would you see them in the
So
magazines?
it's Yeah, so it's been really lovely to have a nice following on my Facebook and Instagram. I mean, I've got a much bigger following on Facebook, but that's
Mm,
probably because I put more time into it. But
yeah,
I think it's also the demographic of the people that used to watch the show.
at
You know
our
what I
age.
mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So
All right, my
yeah,
love. Well, we're about to say goodbye. Thank you so much for making time to have a chat with me today. It's always a
yeah.
pleasure
Well
to speak
done. I'm
with
glad you're
you.
doing this. It's fantastic. Hopefully, lots of people are watching. all your
Yeah.
episodes. I think this, I've seen you've already done 4 or 5, so it's brilliant.
Yep.
I make sure I watch everyone. So it's nice to see the fans
Awesome.
also and nostalgic and thinking about the time and how
Yeah.
young talent time made them feel. And
That,
that still is something as adults is a really lovely thing. So well done, you.
yes. Oh, thank you. Well,
Mm.
as we say goodbye, do you have anything to say to your fans out there?
Thank you for keeping on. Thank you for still enjoying it and keeping the memories of the show alive. That's lovely. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, hum.
Mm.
Love ya.
Oh, gosh. You too. Bye.
Bye. Bye.